Let's start with the truest story of them all.
Okay.
Titanic. That happened, didn't it?
Of course it happened.
No, I meant the love story.
Oh.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
Of course it fucking didn't.
What number week is this?
14.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that all?
Oh, is that all? What do you mean?
No, it's a lot, but I thought we were on I thought we were nearly
55.
at 20,000. 20,000.
No.
Yeah, no.
Unfortunately not.
No.
Alright.
Yeah.
What are we starting with this week?
This week, we're going to start with our review of...
Look at you over there.
What do you mean look at me over
You're
here?
recording a fucking podcast and you're lying down.
I'm not lying
wrapped
down.
in like
I'm
a
not lying
duvet.
down. I'm like scrunched up,
Like a little
leaning
cat on the end of a
over
sofa.
with a big nice rug around me because I'm freezing.
Why is it cold?
Really cold. I don't
Alright.
know.
Like a fucking cat, honestly.
You're
Okay.
a cow.
What are we starting with this week?
I was just trying to I was trying to tell you, and then you were like, "Look at you." Anyway, we're starting with our review of Only the Brave, which we watched about 4 days ago.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them what Only the Brave is about?
Only the Brave is about the Granite Mountain Hotshots. What year was it? Was it 2011?
Can't remember.
Anyway, Hotshots. The film spends a lot of time sort of explaining what they are. They're basically like firefighters, but more like prevention stuff, and they don't fight fires with water.
They can just put their control fires,
Yeah,
wildfires
it's
as well.
Yeah,
Just-
mainly wildfires.
Not house fires, yeah.
No, not
Basically
house
wildfires
Yeah.
in Arizona they control,
Yeah.
obviously all the dry.
Yeah, and this is
Around.
about this particular group, and it's based on a true story.
Yeah. I won't say what it's entirely based on, because I don't want to spoil anything.
I've already
Because you
said
didn't know,
that.
because we didn't know.
I have already said it.
Well, I'm also saying, I'm clarifying for them
Mm.
that I won't say anything spoiler either.
No, I'm not going to say anything.
They might think, oh, Sophie, we can trust her, but that fucking bastard, they'll probably spoil something.
Yeah.
Well, now they know I'm also clarifying that for myself.
No, I didn't say. I didn't mean I've already said it. I mean I've already said what it's about, so people know that, then they're gonna know what it's about.
Shut up.
Know. My feelings, a lot.
No, cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, what do you think?
I think that it is very well acted,
Yeah.
but it did drag a bit.
Yeah, it took a while.
It's-
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's very good,
Yeah.
and it goes a very different direction to most things based on a true story. It doesn't try and fill it with action. There is
No.
not much action at all in this
No.
until the like sort of finale,
Yeah.
but it took a while to get going.
Yeah.
In the sense that I wasn't too invested until like about at least half an hour into
Yeah.
that, because yeah, it just kind of it sort of jumps you straight in, and I'll get more into why. But first impressions, that's what I thought, and
Yeah.
won't say why at all. But there's like it's quite heavy.
It's
It's obviously
very heavy.
a lot of true event films are, but this is quite heavy.
Yeah.
And,
I
yeah.
mean, it happened in recent years, so I think people might have an idea anyway of what. Yeah.
I'm sure in America
don't-
it's a
yeah.
lot more known, but being
Yeah,
here
but I
in
don't want
England-
to. Yeah, I don't want to like spoil the film for people if they haven't seen it. But yeah, the main thing is the acting in this is absolutely insane. It's so good. It's so good.
So when you get a stellar cast, like,
Yeah, I was gonna say the whole cast
All your
is
Western boys.
absolutely brilliant. But yeah, obviously the main sort of protagonist cast that they follow, that they choose to follow, are just so good.
should we say the cast are? You got Josh Brolin,
Yeah,
Miles Teller,
yeah.
uh,
Jennifer Connelly,
Jeff Connelly.
she's always brilliant.
Why have I forgotten his name?
I think we're gonna tell you.
Huh?
I don't want to tell
Oh,
you.
go on, just say it. Why not? Jeff Bridges. There you go.
Oh,
Took a second.
I was mouthing it, but you looked down
Oh, I
at the
didn't
ground
hear,
like
yeah.
you had given up
Like I
on
hated
life.
myself.
Yeah, I haven't watched a film like this in a really long time. Where afterwards, like I couldn't shake it. Could I? I was just in a.
There's something you, yeah. I feel like there is something you watched recently where you were the same. I can't remember what.
Arrival.
Okay, there you go.
I had a moment after Arrival. I know, but this I don't know. This stuck with me for a long while.
Fair enough.
After.
Should we go into spoilers?
Yes.
Should we say white stuff first?
Yeah.
Yeah, going into spoiler stuff then. I think I want to say the problem is my main problem with this. I'll start with the negatives first and build up to positives. Like a lot of true story or based on true event films, it doesn't entirely explain, like, because we're not firefighters, we don't control fires, we're not hotshots. What they're doing with their tools, I have no idea what that is. We were trying to guess this stuff, but it'd been great if it was. And I like, okay, so a lot of the tactic stuff. So when they were like, okay, they were getting maps and they're going, okay, we're gonna do this, cut the fire off here and do this. It was like very fast.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have actually known what they were doing and why they were doing it, instead of just following. I know it's about the characters.
I was going to say that, but I wonder if I watch it back a second time if there's things that they do say that I missed, because I don't want them to go, oh, so if we do this, that's what this will do, because if you are trying to tell a true story, I know you have to inform your audience, but equally, like, if they're trying to say it's a true story, they won't have been in there explaining to each other what it does. But what they do does, because they already know.
They would explain their strategy,
do you know
though.
what I mean?
I don't mean that. I mean that.
Yeah, but they were.
Yeah, but
they
it went too quick.
Well,
They
yeah,
had
but
a map out a few times.
That's
Like,
what I'm
right,
saying. I
let's
wonder.
do this. It's like, it's too quick. Just slow it down. Like, I know you're saying it's based on true events, and they wouldn't explain it to each other. But then they also wouldn't have one focus that you would know them all as well as each other, and you would.
Yeah.
That's the thing based on true events. Most true event films aren't anything like what actually happened. I'm sure a lot of them aren't, because I'm sure a lot of them are like dramatized a lot of the time, and you have one main character. Whereas obviously, I mean, in this you obviously had Josh Brolin playing the I forgot what it's called. Yeah, the soup.
Yeah.
He obviously wouldn't be a main character in them. He'd just be one of the guys.
Yeah.
Whereas in this he was the main, so you can always sort of say it doesn't need to be as realistic as it is. It'd just be nice to have had it like.
Yeah.
Because I love strategy stuff. I'd love to know how they're putting the fires out, but I didn't really, especially the finale. They got stuck. I don't know how they got there. I don't know how they got stuck. I know it was becoming bigger than I expected, but they didn't really.
Well, it's that their exit route got blocked out, and they didn't.
Because the exit route was burned down by that villagey bit.
Yeah.
But how could they not? It's just a bit confusing, because I was like, but then.
I
thought they were evacuating that bit first. And that was their exit route.
But I think their exit route was compromised because it spread faster than they thought.
Yeah, but then it said about they were evacuating that bit. I thought that was the place they were evacuating because the fire was going to hit. That's why I was pretty confused. It all was so. It's the thing for a long film. It's all so quick that I couldn't. I know I'm not going to lie. I was pretty shattered when we were watching this because we'd been working quite a lot that weekend, but it just didn't explain. Yeah. It kind of jumped quite fast over it. Like they sent him to the lookout to go keep an eye out. Instantly went wrong and he ran back and just like.
I think there'd been quite a lot of time, but I think they had the original thing they set out to do. Well, they did do it, but then water got dropped on it, so they had to start again. So I think it took longer than they were expecting, and then their exit route somehow got compromised, and that's how they ended up getting stuck.
Yeah, I think it all just starts. I think the film starts because for how long it is. I think it's about 2 hours. I think it starts too early in the story, and it says I like that it builds up and you learn about the characters, but there's really weird jumps. So Miles Teller's character, you see him like as a complete drug and a complete acting complete like nutter, and then he obviously has his daughter, and then he's completely changed, and you only see the build up is very quick. Like he turns over to this. I know it's like he's had a baby now, he's changed. Yeah, but there's no like relapse. There's no kind of.
No.
Maybe he obviously probably did have a relapse.
But I think that's always the problem.
So quick.
I know. I think that's always the problem with true stories, though. Obviously, we don't know. We don't know those people. We don't know. Or maybe we maybe have to read about it. But if that is what happened, then I don't want it to be changed for the film. No. And that could be what happened. That's the problem. I don't know.
It's just I found that a bit odd. Like with the whole having a baby, it's like that came out of nowhere and. That you're definitely the father. Right? It just felt really quick, and then it flipped really quick. I thought, well, because they showed him do one run and struggle. Yeah. Then I thought he was pretty accepted. This is the thing as well. And their relationship and his relationship with the other guy. Yeah. The two of them, they were that very, very typical. Yeah. This is a bunch of macho guys. One's teasing the newbie. Yeah. Really similar to every kind of film you get like that. And then it flips, and takes a nice flip, and they end up being like really good friends. Yeah. And I like that. And I was like, I'm good they're taking it that way.
Yeah, because that doesn't normally happen.
No, I mean sometimes it does, but the way they did it felt a bit different. Yeah. It was just a bit. I was like, I don't know how much of this like it actually happened. Like if there was one that bullied the other one in the group, because that feels like every kind of film like this. Yeah, and I was like, I don't know if it actually happened in real life, or they're just sort of dramatising it again. Yeah. Yeah, I mean. It's hard saying if I'm being critical of it because you don't know what's true and what's not. Yeah. And I'd like to know what did happen. You got anything to say?
Well, you may be able to read it. I don't know. I don't know how much is documented. Yeah. I just I think they handled it really well, and I think it was enough drama for the film because obviously it is still a movie and they are still trying to tell a story and show what happened, but it obviously is going to be a bit dramatized. It's not they're not trying to do like a documentary, so obviously it does need sort of an entertainment element, and it did have that, but I think they handled it really well, and they didn't sort of shy away from showing you exactly what happened, but they didn't do it in like a really overly graphic way, but they didn't sort of not show you exactly what kind of happened to them, which I just thought it was a really good balance.
Yeah. I prefer the second half a lot more than the first. You start caring. This thing, this film is it gives you, unlike a lot of other sort of films like this, it gives you enough time to like get involved with these characters or understand them, because it shows a lot of their behind the scenes stuff. Whereas a lot of thing like based on true events, where it's about like a group, doesn't show much other than for one character. Yeah, and it kind of. This kind of does centre on one person, because obviously it centres on Josh Brolin, but you also have centres on other characters as well. It doesn't centre on just this one, and he's not like this crazy hero. Like this is what I like about He's not this crazy action hero. No. I mean, he's their leader, but he isn't like. Nothing in this film happens like that. You can kind of go, did that really happen? Kind of thing, like it doesn't feel like an action film. It doesn't feel like Michael Bay directed this. Which is what the kind of film you imagine you get from him.
Sort of telling the story that happened.
There's no kind of like quick jump and avoid the fire, like kind of like epic moments or anything like that, because it's definitely not what happened.
It just seems like they've shown you what their journey to get to that point was, and the relationships that they have with each other. They seem quite real, and like you say, it's not like. And again, that's the thing with true stories. You say like, oh, he's not some like big action hero, but he was just kind of a normal guy. But it seems like that was all true, and that was what he was like. Like he did meet his wife at like a church group meeting, like for addicts and stuff, and that did really happen. And it's just like, yeah.
No, it is very well acted, and they all talk about the subject like matter very well. Yeah, it's all done very nicely. Yeah, there's some bits I really didn't like. I didn't like. I think the macho stuff's a bit too much at times, like all the like geezers kind of stuff.
I don't, because I think that's totally true to life. I totally think that probably happens in that kind of group of people.
I guess it's just more that I don't think the female characters had much of a kind of sight in this film. His wife did a bit. I think towards the end they showed a nicer side to her, but I think I don't know. I think it was earlier on the macho stuff was a bit much. I think like some of the jokes they were making. I was like, even if they were like, do you like need that kind of? It's a very kind of military like film humour.
Yeah, but I think that's true though.
Yeah, but there's other stuff. But they also have to piss and eat and stuff. But you don't show that, so you don't need to show. It didn't like do anything for the characters really. Other than make me go, they're just a bunch of.
I actually thought I was going to say I don't think it did do that much. They didn't do all that like crazy macho stuff. I know they like played little pranks on each other and stuff.
No, I mean like when they were talking about women in the first like half hour.
Oh right, yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Well, there was that one conversation, that I thought actually was a bit out of place.
And then he's saying about his girl that's cheating on him. Yeah. That felt like it was made for the film. Yeah. Because again, that's the kind of thing you get from these kind of films.
Yeah, like, that's true. Like, actually,
this is my bird. Underwear.
That was just that one character, though.
Yeah, no, but they overdid it because he was a really good character. But at the end, it was really nice. So they kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just.
Yeah. No. I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. It did take a long while to get going, actually. Yeah. But yeah.
It goes in a good direction, but it takes a while to get the train moving.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. It's really good. It's really hard because you don't want to go, oh my god, I love this film, because actually it just left me with the worst. It's just such a horror. It felt so sad after.
It's absolutely brutal.
It's so
You can say what it is. We're in spoilers now, so you can say it. They all just. We didn't know the real life story, but obviously what happened in real life.
Now reading about it, I did, and I did not. I just didn't put two together. Yeah.
Especially about all of the men, other than the one who Miles Teller plays, who was like the recruit, who because he was on lookout, he wasn't there, but the rest of the Granite Mountain Hotshots were all killed by a wildfire because they got stuck out there and they all burned. They had their little bags that they burned, like they had like the bags that are meant to well, not meant to. They can print. I can't remember them.
I think they're little They're
meant to help, but they've never been proven to work because obviously such heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they all end up dying, and then the end is so brutal because it's so well acted. Because the minute all the wives find out that they've been killed,
and they just knew that there was one survivor, but nobody knew who it was, so nobody knew if
which
it was
is
their
fucking
husband.
horrible.
It's awful.
I hate that information should not have got told to the wives.
I don't know what the channels are for when something like that happens. I don't know.
Yeah, just say.
Because he said we can't tell them until the grief counsellors get here, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's awful. It's absolutely...
Grief counsellors. Grief counsellors going to do much in that situation?
Well, that's what their job is, I guess. That's what they're meant to... I mean, no, they're not going to make you feel okay, but I think they're just there to sort of try and manage and handle the situation a bit. But,
it's
my God.
It's absolutely fucking brutal.
It's awful. It really is awful. And that moment when she's obviously been told on the phone...
Yeah,
and she comes outside and screams, and then she's in the back of the car lying on that woman's lap. I was like, it's just too real. It's just so true. Oh, God, it's absolutely
again, I hope that she went out. I hope that's not the film. I hope she went outside and did that, because that was quite a strange thing to do. Like, if she did that sort of thing, you wouldn't be thinking of. So if the film did, it's a bit annoying, because it was like a Mad Max scream where she just sort of went down on her knees outside and screamed. So
normally
really
when they do films like this, they go and talk to the people, don't they? And they tell them what happened after. And I mean, obviously, I don't know that.
I don't think was she in a barn, actually? That would make more sense.
Yeah, she was out. Yeah.
I thought she was in the house. I was like, if she walked out of the house. That would have been quite odd, because you wouldn't walk all the way outside. No. And I thought that might be the film. If she's in a barn, that would make more sense, because it would be open, so you just walk out.
Oh, absolutely horrific. Really, really, really heartbreaking. Really sad.
Yeah. Anything else to say?
Tired?
Yeah, a little bit. Every week.
No, I don't think so. I think the main thing is, I like, just again, overall, bit too slow to kick off. Like, actually very slow to start off with, and a couple of cliches, like you said. But then once it
men for the first 20 minutes, and then it kind of
once
goes
it got into it though, and you really started to.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, going on to what before, just about Macho Men as well. There was a bit when they felt like a fucking motorcycle club where they were all outside celebrating, and he's throwing T-shirts to him. It's like, oh, he gets if you're one of the Granite Mountains, or if you sleep with one of them. It's like the wives just kind of feel like they're a bit of an. It felt like a motorcycle. I felt like you were watching Sons of Anarchy or something.
I know what you mean. No, I know.
If that's how it was, that's how it was. But
I forgot what I was going to say, so...
Sorry. You were just summing it up.
But I can't remember what...
Takes too long to get going.
Yeah, there's a lot of cliches, but I'd say like the main strengths for this are definitely the acting, and when it gets into like the main storytelling and how they handled the end was really good.
There we are.
Yeah.
We'll give it a score?
Oof. It's really hard, isn't it?
Because we'll just say this: our scores don't really mean much because we don't compare scores for films. So
I'd say 8 and a 0.5.
8.5.
Yeah. 8 and a 0.5.
I'm gonna say 7.6 because it's very good. It's very well told.
It's very good. Yeah.
But like I said, it takes a bit too long to get into. And while I think the ending is incredible in terms of how it does it, it's also just that heavy factor of fucking hell telling us. It's such a like.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's hard trying to score the movie for being a movie and not like take the emotion into it.
Because it's so impactful.
Yeah, because you can't. That's
much.
The thing. You kind of want to go 10 because it's such an impact, but. That's the impact is what happened, not this film, if that makes sense.
All right. Well, there you are.
Yeah.
In your face. for the rest of this, we'll talk about other films based on true events.
Yes.
Why not? It was a great idea from
Thank
you.
That's my idea.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so good.
So we're just looking at films based on true events. Did not realise how many there were every year.
Oh,
Jesus
so
Christ.
many. There's so many.
Ridiculous.
I think it's because so many directors will go, "That's a wonderful story. I must tell it." Do you know what I mean?
I'll visit these people in their homes.
Yeah.
I'll sit and talk to them.
Yeah.
Write down the notes, and I make a fuck ton of money off of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much.
It's also probably because it's like, we can't do an adaptation, we can't do a sequel,
No.
we can't do one based on a novel.
No.
What's next? We can't do any original ideas, that'd be too hard. We can't think of our own story.
Mm.
Let's go grab someone else's. That'd be why.
I mean, I think it's good. Like, it's really good to tell stories that happened and put them out there for people to see.
If you're telling them right.
But, that's what I was going to say. But you can't just go like, oh, that's a really good story. I'm going to tell it and just do a, like, mishmash job of it and just not really care.
I think you got to have a passion for wanting to tell that story. It
That's
needs to
something,
be,
actually,
it needs to be like, look, I want to tell a story because it needs to be heard. Or
Yeah. I was going to say that's something actually I would say about that film, about Only the Brave, is that you can tell that there was a lot of like care and thought went into that.
I feel like this is going to do very well in America.
Yeah.
Because it's a massive tribute, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a tribute kind of film.
And so it should. Like, I think it's great. But I'm saying like sometimes you go, oh, they've not really even thought about that. But it feels like there was a real care taken.
Yeah.
To tell the story for those people and tell it well, not just try and make some money out of it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Sadly, probably won't make much at all. It won't make a bit, but I bet it costs quite a bit to make. I mean, it feels quite low budget, but there's some big names in there.
Big names, and there are some bits that
the fires. I wonder how they did the fires. I don't know if that would be too much of a budget because you're doing it on dry land. But okay, should we start with? This is really going to be hard to structure how we can work. Should we just? Could say war first. War films based on true. No,
I just have a.
We've just got a list.
Yeah,
let's start with a big one then. Dunkirk. It's just obviously being quite recent. I think it was nicely done because it told more than one story. Yeah. And I guess that kind of works.
I could have just done with the Spitfire bit and then just.
Yeah, but that's more because that's what we'd like to see now, isn't it? I completely agree. Like they showed like these multiple stories, which I like because it's kind of like. Oh, these are the different roles. What's interesting, it's come out quite soon after Battlefield 1, which is similar, where it's like, here's all the different kind of ranks in the military in this battle, and here's their different stories, which is cool. And it was cool how they would have done that in Dunkirk, other than, which is a bit... Yeah, you couldn't care for, like, I know you're saying, you're not meant to care for these characters. So, I know you're meant to care for these characters, but you kind of need to, because you're still focusing on people. I don't think they said
you weren't meant to care for them. I think they just were saying that it wasn't a character-led film, which is fine, but again, like we said when we reviewed it the first time, I think if you're not having a character-led film, then you need to at least make it a decent age rating enough to show what happened. I'm not saying like, I need blood and guts everywhere. I'm just saying you couldn't really see how horrific it was because it was a 12, and not having the character thing, it just felt a little bit like I don't know, like you were watching just a really small... Sort of like you were watching through a peephole and there was a lot more going on around, but you weren't allowed to see it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
it's that really hard thing of, I don't know if it's Christopher, like, because it's by Nolan, I don't know if it's this whole thing where it was about raising, like, awareness or raising people's knowledge of this. Which seems quite strange.
But I don't feel like it even did. I don't feel like it. I know more about Dunkirk now. I knew what I knew going in, and now I still know it.
It doesn't really get into the details of it. It just gets into the stories. But this is the thing, though, is it was all about like, we're keeping it in low age so kids can sort of, or young people can see what happened.
Yeah, which I can.
But at the same time, it's that, and it's also a tribute for old people going, oh yes, I remember how brutal it was, and it's for all different ages, and it's the fact that it's Nolan who's doing it, and a lot of young adults and teenagers will watch Dunkirk because there's some serious Nolan fanboys out there. Around that age, when you're like your early teens, you're going to love The Dark Knight trilogy and Inception. They're going to be even if you don't like those films, you're still going to call them your favourite films. Yeah. If you get what I mean, then my favourite. So they're going to go in and watch this because it's him, and maybe that's the pull for this. Yeah. But like you said, it's kind of just. It's not. Hacksaw Ridge was much like that. Had a lot more impact because that made me feel like fuck. This is terrifying.
Yeah, it's awful.
Because you see it, and that would have more effect. Yeah. But I guess the whole point of Dunkirk wasn't. It's really strange because Dunkirk wasn't a film where you're like... It was a praise film, wasn't it? It wasn't...
Yeah, but I just can't work out what it was meant to give me.
Yeah, I think it was meant to be like a celebration of like... And it sounds weird. I think it was meant to be a celebration of going, look how we made it. look how strong we are. Because if you'd made it gory, if you'd shown how wrecked we got, like Hacksaw Ridge, you wouldn't like they do in Hacksaw Ridge. You wouldn't be like, when I say we, I mean the Americans in Hacksaw Ridge, but it wouldn't have shown how. If it's shown how wrecked we got, I'd be like, oh Jesus Christ! Kind of like Only the Brave, you would have come up feeling pretty shit. But because it was not glory, by the end of it, you were like, yeah. Well, I assume that's what they were going for, is celebrating.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because at the end they had the whole speech like narrating over it, don't they? And coming back home, and it's a very British film.
It is, yeah. Such a shame. I was really looking forward to Dunkirk. I'm so sorry I was so bad because you took me to see it for my birthday. But no, it was a great experience. The biggest IMAX in the country. And I just took it to the cinema. It took me to work for my birthday. No. But yeah, I don't know. Just
Spitfire stuff was cool.
Yeah. It was like made this amazing film, and then they went, oh, can't have that in it. No, you can't have that in it. Can't have that in it. Oh no, you can't have that in it. And it just ended up being really like PG poo.
PG poo.
Yeah, I think that should be an official rating.
Yeah, it was. But don't get me wrong, it looks stunning.
It looks amazing. It looks very beautiful.
I also think we were more disappointed because it's Nolan, and we have like because obviously instead we're hoping for another kind of crazy, because he comes up with stories as well, because he didn't write the story for this in terms of. It was real.
Don't think he wrote the story.
No. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And also, sorry, I was just going to say, I know we said this again at the time, but like there's going to be people listening going, I think they said that in the original. No, when you've got a cast that good, it always feels like a kick in the teeth to like not have them being like really good character actors when you know like how good they are. Yeah, when you can't hear Tom Hardy and you just have Kenneth Branagh staring out to sea.
Doing the same shot of him going.
I just want to see them act.
And also Cillian Murphy doing nothing.
Yeah.
Strange.
And Mark... Mark...
Who's
oh, for God's sake.
Waste your biggest talent.
On the boat.
I don't know his name.
It's his name!
And your biggest talent, Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Wasted.
Yeah. He was wasted. No.
And that's another thing, having him in it. It's just pulling audiences, really. I think. I know it was on his performance,
I'd like to
but you wouldn't. But if
he was fine. He was fine, but I can't believe that there wasn't another 1,000 actors out there that could have done just as good a job and aren't Harry Styles.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have taken that risk. Tailing onto that Dunkirk, just Hacksaw Ridge as well then.
Yeah.
Because the brutality of that. We didn't know that was coming, how heavy that was. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Although saying about based on true events.
Yeah.
Not really based on what happened. And I'm pretty, if I've read this right, it wasn't, he didn't want him, the guy who Andrew Garfield plays, didn't want this made.
No.
And then he died, and then they made it, which kind of sucks.
Disgusting, yeah.
And also, they show it sort of happen over one battle. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's amazing what he did.
Yeah.
It's amazing what happens, but the film shows it happen within about one battle.
Yeah.
Up in Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, it
where
looks
it
like
was
he was
over
just up there for like 24 hours, but actually it was over a really long time.
About at least 7 days, I think it was, maybe more than that.
Sorry, but it's Mark Rylance.
Fair enough. That was really quick.
I just had to Google it. Mark Rylance. Yes. And again, that's trying to find that balance of, we need to make this entertaining because it is a film, but we also need to tell this story. But that's a wide leap, isn't it? Yeah. Because there's over like 100 days.
Again, that had a lot of a build up before it got to the nitty gritty stuff.
But that was fine. I didn't mind that so much. I never thought, oh, this is taking too long to get to the and it wasn't even like, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't in Only the Brave I was thinking, oh, I wanted to get to like, the bad bit that happened. It's not that. It's just, it didn't feel like it was telling us about the characters, and it didn't feel like it was telling us about what they were doing, and it didn't feel like it wasn't telling me like exciting information a lot. Whereas this did. I feel like it was But this feels like it's a lot more dramatized than
what does.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw
Ridge feels like it's a lot more, more added to
those priesty kind of shots.
Yeah.
Where we said this, what I didn't like, but that's what you get Mel Gibson as director. Yeah. Those really priesty kind of bring him down with the light over him, and there's another one where he was going,
Yeah.
I like the shower shots. I'm pretty sure you said about before.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, all right, come on now.
Yeah.
Like, how can you go from this nitty gritty water?
Yeah, it's very Mel Gibson.
Oh!
I don't mind. I mean, it felt like an old water film. Not old, but like sort of 20 years ago. Those kind of like glory shots and the slow mo and stuff. And you hate slow mo, but you didn't mind it too much in this, did you?
I don't really remember it because it doesn't matter because it uses a bit of slow mo.
The shower bit was slow mo.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
they poured the water. It was shower. Sounds
stupid.
like it was this like steamy shower.
But then the war
scene.
stuff wasn't, and you don't miss what happens, and you're like, oh fuck, I missed that. It was too quick. Because there's not loads of cuts. It's just not slowed down action. It's not like, oh, if someone gets shot, you see him get shot at the right speed, and you see him go down because the shot doesn't change. It's because of budget, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed how a lot of actors. I know Mel Gibson's directed before, but how a lot of actors tend to go do based on true event stories.
Yeah.
Like how Andy Serkis is now doing...
Breathe.
Did he do Breathe? Oh, he did do Breathe.
Yeah,
he
directed
I thought he was doing
and
the new
that's also
Jake
Andrew
Gyllenhaal.
Garfield. I thought that was why you were saying it, yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying about how actors tend to go off and do true event stories for their first
I get that.
films.
I understand why, because it's interesting to try and understand somebody and what actually happened and sort of get inside there.
What, you're saying you think that's why actors pick them?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Definitely, yeah.
Maybe it's just the story they want to tell. Maybe if they know a lot about
Yeah, I think if something's happened to... I think that's what actors are. They're storytellers. And I think if something's happened to somebody and it hits them in a particular way, then I think, it's probably the most interesting part of their job. Well, and also creating a character from scratch as well. But I'm saying I can totally understand why people want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think... looking at this list I'm only looking at ones in the last few years because otherwise the list just goes on and on. I think the problem with most of these, especially, they've all got such massive names attached to them.
Yeah.
It kind of takes away from it a bit because you see that actor, and it just kind of feels like if you got a random person, like not a random person, if you got a smaller actor, you wouldn't. It's like a really kind of cliche thing where it's like, oh, if I had a film made about me, I'd have George Clooney play me, or Tom Cruise, and it kind of feels like because they're using these people, it kind of feels like it's a bit like, get the biggest people in, especially with Deepwater Horizon.
Yeah.
We heard about this.
Well, that was just a strange thing because he did that trilogy of true stories.
Yeah,
and he was
guys.
And he was just like, oh, it's him again. It's him again. Wasn't he on the Deepwater Horizon? Wait, wasn't he in Boston when the bombings were like? It just felt a bit weird.
What one's so Patriots Day was?
Yeah, Patriots Day
the
is
third
that one.
Which was the Boston bombings. The second was Deepwater Horizon, and the first one was Lone Survivor.
Oh yeah,
I've only watched Deepwater Horizon out of those three films.
I have seen Lone Survivor. I thought you'd seen Lone Survivor. No. Oof. No. It is really like, I just remember being like, oh Jesus Christ, like there's there's this one scene, and I bet everyone that's watched it will go, oh, that scene, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a bit where I'm talking about the wrong film.
Amazing.
There's a bit where this clown comes in, where they are getting shot out or something. I can't remember exactly why this happens, but they all fall down these rocks, and I'm pretty sure it is in slow motion, and you just see them smash it, their bodies just smashing on these rocks, like in slow motion. You hear it and
the birds.
No.
You sure it's that?
Yes. And I just remember being like, oh God, Christ, it's just really like gritty and like horror, like it's just violent. There's a lot of bits where you go, oh God, and it's not even the blood and guts. It is the bones breaking on the side of a mountain. Oh, it's horrible. It's really.
I'll watch at some point.
Yeah, I think it's good. I can't remember.
I probably watched Patriots Day, but it's just, I think it's because they said they made it a bit too macho of Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Deepwater Horizon. Like, I really like it. Like, all the way through, it doesn't take that long to get going, and it's And because with Deepwater Horizon, they explain enough without it. Like you said about like, oh well, they wouldn't explain it to each other that way, which I kind of get. But in this, it doesn't seem like that. But yet they explain enough about the rig for me to understand what's happening. Like with the levels, because they spend a lot of time in the office explaining to the guy from Shell. Yeah. Is it from Shell?
BP.
From Shell? BP, sorry. From the old Shell garage, the old shop assistant from the Shell garage is there. from BP.
Now,
Is it definitely BP?
I have to stop you because I remember after this you saying, I just wish that I had understood more what was going on with the rig. And it was the second time that we watched it that you were saying,
Really?
oh, I get it a lot more now. Yeah, listening to it a second time.
Well, second
now
time,
I understand. Sorry, but I was like...
Oh, I remember saying that. I can't remember what that was on though. That was to do with... Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like, yeah, but
I know,
watch.
but that's what I was saying
the whole pressure
about.
thing. I remember, I picked up a lot more the first. I still picked up a lot.
I think it was quite diagrammy because it was showing you on like it kept showing you.
Well, they had all the dials and they had the maps.
And I think when you see
guy.
like gauges like flicking and stuff, you know it's bad. Like it's not going to be good. And
well, no, but they just explained how the pumping worked and like the pressure, and they explained enough.
Yeah.
And they did a really nice. I like the whole bit at the start with his daughter and the bottle, and like that's a really good teaser for that film. With
that
the
was
bottle.
good. Yeah, it was.
You're
like, oh.
They explain enough, and again, it was a nice. This is the thing of these films as well. It's nice to get one that you don't know anything about. So only the brave we learned about the sort of what Hotshots are. I didn't know they were called. I didn't know what they were. With this, I learned about like rig and how they take oil off the ground. Where it's just nice to get different stories.
I think I understand what Hotshots do now.
Oh, I do now. I didn't before. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, right.
I thought no idea what they do.
I still
Some
don't
with
know.
flowers? Don't know.
Yeah, I still don't know what they are. Yeah. I was just a bit confused, like when they were digging and stuff. I was like, what?
Yeah, we said no. They were pulling soil. Well, they were pulling the dirt. I think what they were doing, like I said, I think what they're doing is they were covering dry plants on top. I think because I don't know if it'd be that wet. If you're pulling soil up or a little bit of the ground up, they weren't like digging. They were like sort of scraping, weren't they? Or pulling a bit up.
Like
I think it's because it's a bit wet underneath. It's a bit more moist, so it will dry it out. And also, I think all the little plants and leaves you'd have on the surface, if you cover those, it's not going to burn. That's what I was trying to explain to you while we were watching it.
Yeah.
The ground is not going to be covered in like branches and stuff if you cover it all up. I think that's what they were doing.
Do they sort of, they were like starting sort of a smaller bit of fire with their torches. Is that to stop the burn at that point?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I think it stops the burn because, again, I'm only just theorising here. We don't actually know anything we're talking about. I think it's because when it hits that point, because it's already burnt away. When it hits that point, it's like a moat around a castle.
Yeah.
Because it's already burnt out.
Because that's what it looked like after, didn't it? It looked like it looked exactly.
Because when the fire then hits that point, it can't jump it.
Yeah.
So it gets stuck there. It can't burn. It's already burnt. And I think the reason why that doesn't burn because what wouldn't make sense is then if you're using fire against fire, then why wouldn't that first fire you make it go further?
Yeah.
I think it's because it's done with oil.
Yeah.
It would only burn there.
It burns just the oil,
Yeah,
well, like how it burns in a line, doesn't it?
Yeah. And it doesn't burn further. I don't know
Yeah.
why it doesn't burn further. Because that's really... I don't know. I thought that's what they were doing. It's the burn bits.
Because that's what they tried to do, wasn't it? That's how they tried to save themselves. They burnt around themselves and then got in their shelter things. Yeah.
Going back to using like massive names for these films.
Yeah.
So... like everyone here has got like the next one I'm going to go on to one that you love, Eddie the Eagle.
Oh yeah.
Based on a true story. Now this definitely feels dramatised entirely.
Yeah.
because it doesn't. I know you love this film, so I'm sorry to badmouth it. But,
no, I'm not saying like I love it like it's the best film ever made. I said I loved
it's a feel-good
that
film, isn't
it was so nice because I went and watched it by myself and everyone was so happy. Everyone around was just so smiley and laughing and it was just it's just a feel good.
Well, it's a feel good, it's really upbeat, but in terms of telling the story that probably happened, it doesn't feel like that because it feels like a really generic kind of sports film. It's an underdog rising, essentially.
It did happen like that though.
I know, but like
all the actual
all the ins and outs.
Happen.
Okay, the events happen, but like all the ins and outs between those and all like it just kind of felt like a bit. Meh. Yeah. There's some say about ins and outs of film. I will go on to this one. 127 hours.
Yeah.
Now that again you've used James Franco, which is a
well, I was just gonna say, did Hugh Jackman need to be his coach?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. That's why I said that one because
not.
you've got Hugh Jackman in that, and then you've got Detroit was very recent.
Yes.
Well. I bet that happened quite similar to what actually happened. I think again big names attached to it, but like again that was annoying because you had John Boyega in it, but he wasn't really a role in it.
Yeah.
And you got the cover.
Stupid. Yeah. That was so stupid. Yeah.
But I bet that was told pretty similar to how it actually went down.
I don't know. It's really just speculation.
I think it was. I know, but I guess it was speculation. But but based on what they had to make the story with,
I'm saying we're speculating. You don't know. Eddie the Eagle, that could have been exactly right. He could have literally been like, "This is the exact conversation I had with my mum and dad," or like this thing. Whereas that.
Well, he's had a very generic sports film life.
Well, maybe he has. No, but do you know what I mean? Though we're not going to know.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
No. What I meant more is like I said, this is only just my impression from stuff, but
yeah.
I meant more because not much happens in Detroit for half the film.
Mm.
Like it all just sort of.
Oh, do you mean
in that house, it goes
the events
on for so
that happened
long,
inside? Yeah, I think what happened in the house was probably.
Yeah, but what I mean is how long it happened for in the film wasn't for entertainment purposes because it got pretty dragged a bit in the house in terms of like as a film. So I imagine it's probably what actually happened.
Yeah.
He had loads in all the Oscar bait films in January were loosely or just based on events. The Hidden Figures, Lion was as well.
Yeah.
They're all sort of, and Hacksaw Ridge was obviously one in there as well.
Yeah.
They're all sort of based on this kind of. I mean, The Founder was The Founder around January? It didn't do very well, but
no, it didn't do well.
I
think it was around January. I think.
Yeah.
It was just it was early on anyway.
A lot of them. And then the year before you had Spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you really like?
I did love Spotlight.
I did like it. I don't know how you've watched it like 3 times, haven't you?
I did watch it.
It's not a film I could watch more than like.
I might have seen it 4 now, but I went to see it 3 times. Bless you, bless you.
Oh God.
I think is that the weather or is that someone wheeling
thunder?
Something
I'm pretty sure.
Well, that is
definitely thunder.
No.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Why?
It can't be. It's going on for such a long time. If it is, then the end of the world is nigh. I have one that was based on a true story that was probably one of the best films I've ever seen.
Yeah.
13 Hours.
Wasn't that Jim Halpert?
Yes, it was Jim Halpert.
AKA. Is it Josh or John Krasinski? John
Krasinski, whose name I thought for about 2 years was John Kransky.
Yo, my name is John Kransky.
It's John Krasinski. And I thought it was such a wonderful film.
No, you didn't.
I didn't walk out about 3 times and then go back in. That was...
Michael Bay, that's what that was.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Sorry, John, but you did not do... Well, he was fine in it. But the film was just... Oh, God. It was just explosion after explosion after explosion. And, like, look at this ripped man. Look at this ripped man. Look at this explosion. It was pretty terrible.
Yeah. Looking at this list here that I've got, I'm just sort of going by what ones did I understand, what ones explained themselves well enough, and what ones did I... Yeah. Sully.
Yeah.
That was perfect. That was really good for a true events
film.
Yeah,
it was very good.
Because I understood pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fucking genius. So I'm joking.
Well, there wasn't too much to...
No, but basically the court case and all of that, they went into it. But you didn't go, what? Did he just win? What happened? You understood what happened. You understood the plane went down because it hit a load of birds and it took out one of the engines. You understood how he was trying to level it, why he couldn't reach, why he tried to turn around, why he couldn't reach where he was going. You understood everything that happened in the plane. You understood how they got off the plane and why that all happened. Yeah. You understood why he was getting in shit for it, all the controversy of it. You understood all of that, and then you understood what they were doing at the end of the flight simulator. Like none of it, you were like, oh, what are they doing? Because the flight simulator, like, oh, well, how would it work? Like
that was great.
I can't remember needing to watch it again. I can't remember why at the end.
That's one of those films. You know, I can't remember what you said about it. Like what film you said it about last week, but you were saying I can remember that film so well. I feel like I remember Sully really good.
I do, but I still want to watch it again because I remember it completely, but I just remember.
No, I know. Just when you specifically really remember something for some reason. Yeah, but no, I know what you mean. It was explained really well, and it was good because yeah.
And I noticed all these posters of them walking or stood in the middle, going, I look away from the camera. Yeah. But
something a little different, but
I wasn't done with Sunny.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, rude.
I'm very sorry.
I'm joking.
Go on.
I was talking about the structure for how it was told as well. So I would have been happy.
Yeah.
This is the thing now. It was interesting enough of a story to tell that the dialogue and the story itself was enough that I wouldn't even need to see the plane go down. I mean, that added so much more to it because it's exciting,
it's really exciting,
and that's your drama added into the film.
Yeah.
But it didn't need that, and I didn't think it was going to go because it doesn't happen straight away. You only see a little bit, and then you start going into the court case.
Yeah.
I'd have been happy with just the dialogue. It was really interesting to hear like what he was getting blamed for, what then like the evidence that came out and that kind of stuff.
It's
great.
interesting because you don't think of that. You don't think of that side of it. When you see that in the news, you just go, "Oh my god, well done him. That's fantastic." And then you don't think about the fact that he actually got really quite penalised for doing that, and they said that he probably didn't he could have made it back and blah blah.
It's the difference with Hollywood and TV, isn't it? Because TV, you watch stuff like all the kind of court cases you watch, TV, how tense it is from just dialogue, and you go to films. It's very rare to get stuff based on true events where it's not we're trying to make it tense because someone might die. It's we're making it tense because what the decision that they made. That end is just a flight simulator in a courtroom. Yeah. And that is enough to make it brilliant. Because you understand it all, because they explain it all well without sort of compromising the film's script. So well done you, Sally, because you're probably one of the best ones on this list.
Captain Phillips.
That was also based on true story, wasn't it?
It's also Tom Hanks.
We need to watch that again, because I only watched it once, and that was at Christmas, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mum was just yammering over and joking. We were all talking. While we were watching it, and we didn't really watch it, but it's very good. It's a very good film. I think you'll really like that when you watch it again.
Yeah. I remember everything happened. I think I remember most of the film, but it feels like it happens in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It kind of like it got taken, chucked in a little boat.
Yeah.
And they got rescued.
Yeah. And that was and it's about 2 hours. A little different. Tower.
Good choice. But the only thing I'd say with that is they're not a documentary, since it's like
it is a documentary, but a lot of it is. It's actors. A lot of it.
No.
Yeah.
We have all the bits that are animated.
Yeah, and that's
well, I guess it is, but I still class it as a documentary.
I know, but I'm just, but
it's worth mentioning anyway.
But we weren't saying just that. We were saying films that talk about true events.
Other documentaries as well, wouldn't we?
Right,
I'm joking. You can mention it's got some acting in there.
Never mind, moving on.
No, talk about it. Go on.
It's just a really different way of doing a story. And it's kind of that thing that I was saying about finding the mix between it being entertainment and telling a story. It's kind of the perfect mix because it's not full documentary, so it's just fact. And it's not big Hollywood film, big actors where you go, oh no, that's Tom Cruise doing that or whatever. I wonder how much of this actually happened. This is exactly what happened, but it's dramatized because it's actually accounts of those people, so you know what they're saying is the truth because it's their accounts, but it is by actors, and just the animated style is something just really different and something new and a good way of showing it.
But not using A-list Hollywood stars.
Exactly.
You're not thinking these aren't these people because they're just because they're animated, like you said, and because they can sort of recreate how they look. Yeah. And you believe that these are just these people that you're watching. No.
It's the perfect mix of doing of doing a true life film, but not not wondering how much of it is actually true because the accounts are all first hand from people that were there, and but you can actually sort of see it unfolding because they are animated and it's actors. It's really good way of doing it. And not something I've seen before, which is always nice to have something a little bit different.
I agree.
And I bet no one's seen it.
Not on Netflix, go watch it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Moving on to more negative ones.
Yes.
I'm a little bored of ones to do with the bank and like Playboys and so like The Big Short, Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street. America Made look like a bit like that. It's kind of I got loads of money and strippers and like I know that American Made was actually very good from the trailer.
What is that?
Tom Cruise, pilot.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah,
but that's to do with the drug cartel.
Well, no, okay, that's a bit more okay, but I didn't have enough film to say for this. Or I didn't enough. But Wolf of Wall Street being the main culprit.
I'm getting so sick of Wolf of Wall Street and Big Short. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, there are. Yeah, there's a lot of those.
They don't feel like they're based. The Big Short was so glamoured up. You've picked every big name possible.
Yeah. And then tried to make them look like different. Real people.
Okay, there's another one. American Hustle. There you go.
Yeah.
Because all yellow font posters.
Yeah.
Where you've taken loads of high actors, made them look different, or changed their weight, and overacting. They're not overacting, but the roles are crazy.
Just realised.
What two?
Big Short and
Big Short,
American Made.
Short.
Not American Made. American Hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just feel like they're just too much. And Wolf of Wall Street. And everyone loved that film. It was good, but I did not love it. I was like, this is too much of just slapping asses, like naked asses, and it was
I
too
went to see that by myself.
I know that was the whole point,
awful.
But I know it was the whole point, but it was too much. It was too for something that's going to be a true story. It was too glamour, and that was the whole thing of Margot Robbie who came from that film, wasn't it? But it was just
Yeah.
I think they focused on the wrong thing. And it was like, oh, did she get Photoshop for this film? It's like,
I think it got a lot of attention for the wrong reasons. But I did like the film. I did really like it.
And it's 3 hours as well.
It's very long.
Yeah.
It's very long. He's brilliant in it though.
Yeah, he's great.
And you almost don't want to say it because everyone says, "Oh, he's so good in Wolf of Wall Street," but he is really, really good in that. He's really good.
McConaughey's great in it as well.
McConaughey is wonderful in it too. Yeah.
They're all good. They're all actually brilliant in it. This is brilliant. I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad film, but
no, it's a good film.
So much attention and for the weirdest things as well. It was such a kind of film that everyone loved because this is such a cool film.
I also think that people can't believe that actually happened.
Yeah. It feels like a Hangover film to me. Is what it feels like. There's that kind of atmosphere. It feels like I'm watching The Hangover or something like that.
I know what you mean.
And then I didn't like American Hustle really. I'll be honest. Again, because of that reason, it felt really glammy. It didn't feel
I barely remember it. I really can't remember it well at all. I do remember thinking Jennifer Lawrence was really funny in it.
Yeah, she's quite good in it.
I'm so bored of her. Honestly.
And then same with The Big Short. Did it not just feel so glammy to you?
The Big Short, I just felt like an absolute idiot. And they had all those scenes in there, didn't they? That were trying to dumb it.
Yeah, but that was so glammy as well.
Trying to dumb it down.
I'm Margot Robbie in a bath. Him explain money to you. And it's
even those bits, I was like, I still don't understand. And now I just feel like an idiot. I just felt stupid walking out of there. Honestly. I think that's the problem sometimes when you don't know the subject matter. You're not gonna learn the ins and outs of that in 2 hours, are you?
No.
You're not gonna learn enough to understand the bigger picture.
Do you know what my favourite thing is about any based on true event films? Actually, the old people that go watch them.
Yeah, they love them.
When something comes up,
yeah.
Oh dear.
Goodness. Oh, you can't believe that.
one or two people in Big Shot are like,
I know.
Oh, money.
Yeah.
That's
so much of that.
That's a lot of digits.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I bet half the people that do that don't even understand. They're just like, everyone else is doing it. I'll just
yeah.
Whoa.
I'm so glad that me, you, and Megan just were like, did you get? No, you didn't as well. Good. I'm not the only idiot. That was just so confusing to me.
Oh, it was too much. It was so fun. That's funny. Just all that kind of stuff. It's always funny when it comes up with stats, and you're always like, my god.
Yeah.
You could write any number up there, and it'd be like,
oh god.
In that context. Saying out again, another topic to say about when we talk about, I'll say it again, based on true story films.
Yes.
Could say about the trailers for them.
Yeah.
Most of the time are annoying as shit, and we pause them with a minute left because
this is based on a true story.
No, it's just like it goes.
I know it tells you the entire story. Yeah.
Like ones you got. Okay, so like Stronger coming out, which is Jake Gyllenhaal about the guy. That's the Boston bombing? Yeah. Who loses his legs? Mm-hmm. They show his whole arc in that trailer. I mean, I imagine. I mean, we haven't watched it, but they show a lot. Don't they?
Honestly, I'm wondering if that film goes on further and tells more of a story, because otherwise I know we always say like, they've basically shown the whole film in the trailer, but they really have. If that is the whole film, they've shown the whole film in the trailer.
I wouldn't be surprised, because if it goes further,
Yeah.
How much time could you fit all everything we saw? Because we saw him go from going to obviously to go watch her run, to losing his legs, to start learning to walk again with prosthetic legs, to going to a football field and having the whole thing, to going like a meltdown, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
If that's not the whole story, that's a long film, and you're gonna make it too quick.
Yeah.
So I think they've just shown too much. And same with most of it. Battle of the Sexes. That trailer, I was like, showing way too much.
Yeah,
and the trailer with him, or them making the bet about her beating him.
That'd be fine.
Don't show her training to beat him and stuff. It's just too much.
It really is.
Like all of these, like
it's meant to be
every single one.
A trailer, not a. I meant
the
teaser.
Dunkirk trailer.
It's meant to be a trailer. It's meant to be a tease, not a. Here's the whole film.
Like Deepwater Horizon, I don't know if we watched the trailers for that. I don't remember anything past it going to shit. I don't remember anything that happened in the trailers. No. Going back to that about glamour shots. Yeah. When he jumps into the fire with her.
Yeah.
I wonder if it happened like that, because that was very Hollywood action.
Yeah.
When they run and jump as the fire blows up right behind them.
Does it?
Yeah. He jumps off and then the fire goes behind him.
Oh, I don't remember.
Not like in the first second, but he jumps and it all goes to shit behind him as he jumps.
I think that's why they jumped, because he knew that was coming. I don't know. And again, with stuff like that, you go, oh, so Hollywood. But that may have been what happened. That's always the problem with trying to review stuff that actually happened. You don't know. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
What were we saying a second ago?
Just before it's about the trailers for...
Yes.
Films
trailer,
show too much.
And I was going to say something about trailers, and that thing was... something. I can't remember. I don't remember that.
The Revenant, because that was based on a true story, supposedly. Again, don't know how much of that's true.
Didn't it come out after that? People like it didn't. It's not really based on a true story. It's just like
based on an idea.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. That one's arguable.
I don't.
Are you trying to balance a Sky remote on the fucking cable to keep?
Yeah, because it keeps going in my ear. It's going. Because the little adapter thing is pooped. Pooped.
I'll tell you what. Also, we still need to watch, because it's one that you need to watch. Social Network.
Yeah, never interested me. And it's Justin Timberlake.
He's fine in it. He's absolutely fine in it.
He's an okay actor, but again,
amazing as twins in it, and Jesse
Eisenberg. Yes.
It's just Eisenberg. I always get him and thingy mixed up. Jesse Eisenberg are all good in it. The soundtrack's really nice.
I think again with Justin Timberlake, everyone's like, no, he's good in it. Yeah, like Harry Styles was good in Dunkirk, but why do you need to use Justin Timberlake?
I think because he actually does. He's quite a big part in it, so maybe it's because they picked him because he's perfect for it.
Oh, is he?
He's in it quite a lot. Yeah.
But he's not playing Justin Timberlake in it, is he?
No, he's not. No, he isn't Justin Timberlake. No.
Did Justin Timberlake have it on Facebook? Oh my god, my mind is blown.
It's played Justin Timberlake.
I'm just joking.
Yeah. Yeah, you should watch it. It's because again, it's like Sully Way. It's no action. I mean, not action in the sense of explosions, but you understand what's happening, and it's very interesting. But you should watch it because it's well directed.
Yeah,
it's nicely handled.
I'm really annoyed that I can't remember what I was going to say about trailers.
Well, you're
just putting it out there. It's not going to remind me. I'm just saying. I'm annoyed because I had something really good to say.
Glamorized, anything like that?
I don't remember. It's really upsetting me. Yeah.
What's ironic with Detroit? So with the marketing for that was all about at this time they knew.
Yeah.
But then they ended it by saying they don't know everything about it, and we don't know everything about it because they didn't, telling that story, know everything about.
I think it was more that people. It seemed like in the court case that like not a lot of stuff was allowed to be brought up, though, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. But they also don't know entirely what happened. They don't have entire.
Well, I think they have accounts of what happened inside, but I think
accounts, yeah.
I think it's more that the people that were in the house saying, "Look, this is what happened." A lot of it wasn't allowed to be shared in the court case, so it's never really come out before. So what they say happened has never really been in the public eye before. So it's like saying this time everyone knew what they have to say.
Yeah. Again, that was all right, but after Zero Dark 30 and Hurt Locker.
Oh, I was too.
But they felt more glamorized than.
I really liked Zero Dark 30.
So
the second time I watched it, the first time I thought it was boring. So weird how your taste changes, but I really didn't like it the first time.
Just because what you were doing when you were watching it, we watched it solidly the second time, didn't we? Any other big ones? We've got King's Speech.
Oh, there's so many. I mean, there's so many. You can't, like...
Crazy amounts.
It's barely worth even trying to...
Well, then we'll end it there, then.
Oh, I'm done. I don't talk about it anymore. I'm sure there'll be ones after that. I'll go, oh, God. Oh, actually, there's one more.
Yeah.
Based on a true story. Armageddon. Can't believe it.
I was like...
Oh, honey. Yeah, the oil drillers that go up to drill through the big meteorite, and they think that oil drillers are better than astronauts. It happened. Oh.
Idiot.
Okay. Oh, God. I remember watching
Street Cat named Bob?
Yeah.
I bet
that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many of this. I was like, I'll just pick up the ones that I've actually seen, because there's a lot here I haven't. Everest.
Everest. Yeah, that was alright.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt in...
Yes,
Man
I was just going to say that. The Walk.
The Walk, sorry, not Man on the Wire. That's the documentary.
Didn't that happen as well, Man on the Wire? Or Man on a Ledge?
Oh, I can't remember.
I don't know if that happened. But yeah.
Is it Man on the Ledge the one with the knobhead from Avatar?
Sam Worthington, yeah. And he's got them.
Oh my
God, honestly, that film is worth watching for how confusing and interesting it is to try and work out what the hell his accent is, because it just changes from line to line, honestly. And I know that I'm really picky with accents, but honest to God, it is hilarious. It's just a completely different accent every time he opens his mouth. It's so funny.
Mentioning Sam Worthington,
yes,
isn't it funny how it's him and you've also got what's his name for it? Michael Vaughan? It's Michael Vaughan for Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh yeah, he's really good in that.
Yeah, both of them are.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Mel Gibson made a bet with one of them? Like, I can get these guys to get good performances.
I bet they'll be good in my film. Yeah, probably. To be fair, The Walk I really enjoyed, but I don't know if a lot of people did. I went to see that by myself.
They love a good true story in IMAX as well, don't they?
I do, yeah.
Going there.
But it's so weird because I remember I don't think a lot of people like loved that film, and it's probably not amazing, but it was amazing in the IMAX because of the visual.
Did people feel sick?
Yeah, loads of people. Yeah, people were walking out because it made the film. I get why. It's some of those shots. It's like, but yeah, no, it's just incredible. It's just incredible that somebody did that, and the reaction that he got. And I read about it after, and it really was true that when he came down, everyone, like, even though he obviously had to be arrested, like, people were shaking his hand and like being really nice to him and stuff. Apparently, he's a bit of an idiot, but
I'd call him an idiot if he was going to go do that.
It was just, but honestly, I remember walking out and being like, I can do anything, because it's just like, if somebody can do that, it's amazing. Anyway,
that's the money.
It's pretty good.
All right, well, my list is done.
My list is also done.
All right.
No, it's not. American Sniper's still on there. There's loads, but we'll crack on, because otherwise we'll be here all day, all week.
What's wrong with that? All right. What's the time for? Remind me.
It's time for news.
You said it way too many times. Do it again. What is it time for?
All right.
First bit of news.
Yes.
Motherfucker.
Hey.
Start the biggest.
Yes.
Star Wars news again. What's that Star Wars news? There's a new trilogy coming out.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk too much about this because we murdered Star Wars to death now.
Yeah.
We need to wait until the films actually have to talk masses more about it. And this is some,
Murdered to death.
even if this is still more big news. But new trilogy.
Yeah.
Rian Johnson, the guy who's doing Last Jedi, is doing the first installment at least. It's nothing to do with the Skywalkers. It's a new trilogy, and they're not using Roman numerals for the titles.
Oh.
Apparently as well. Read that earlier. Yeah. How about this? How about you finish the trilogy you're working on right now, they're not even halfway through yet, and then think about new trilogies? Yeah. Or it's just, we've had the biggest problem for that for us.
Do you think that, like, back in the day, because it always feels like now people are just planning for what's next. Do you think it's just that the news gets released now and we know about it? Do you think this has always happened?
I think it would get out straight away.
No, I mean like way back when they were planning things.
It does come out a lot later, yeah. Some stuff does, yeah. Because there was stuff about Star Wars that came out a lot later.
So just wait, just do what you're doing.
Killing the magic.
Yeah.
We've said a lot about this. Like, I don't mind, like we said, if you take a break from the films, you can make games, you can make comics, you can make TV series as much as you want. That won't kill it, because between all the other trilogies, you had constant video games and constant comics, and it doesn't kill the magic because you don't see it on the big screen. But when you're putting films every year, exactly like what you said the other week, is if you didn't have Rogue One, how much more exciting? I mean, I guess it hasn't ruined it.
It hasn't
I'm still
ruined
crazy excited,
but
you'd be more excited.
It would be
more of a thing.
Crazy excitement if I hadn't.
Because the toys have not stopped because of that. Rogue One has kind of pushed. It kind of felt like it dropped around. The toys would have dropped last year from Force Awakens, but you pushed Rogue One to push all the same toys out, and then and
it'd just be so exciting to see something new Star Wars out in the shops. But now it's like, oh, well, I saw the new Star Wars stuff quite recently. Now there's more new Star Wars. It's just like anything. It would be like having Christmas every 4 months. It's too much. You're not looking forward to it because
every 4 months.
Yeah, well, that would be alright. We'd have to lower our budgets, but no, it's such an exciting thing to be waiting for, and I want to wait.
What's the point of sharing this news anyway? What does it do for anyone? I know it must have probably just got leaked out there telling people so they know, but like a teaser for a new trilogy would be really cool in a bit of time, but not like...
Yeah, in like 3 years.
And the thing is, do spin-offs if you can do spin-offs, because all we've done at the moment is prequels. Han Solo's a prequel, technically. Rogue One was a prequel, wasn't a spin-off. It was, you can call it a spin-off because it's a different title, but it was essentially a prequel to A New Hope, so... Make films that are completely unrelated with new characters. I've said this many times. Make a film about X-Wing pilots. You don't need a character that you know to care for the film. Rogue One didn't have any characters you really knew. They were all brand new characters. And I would have cared for them had they had a bit more time taken to explore them. But just use the universe, use the ships, use the planets, use the lore, use the species, not the characters we know to death. Going to still with Disney stuff, as always. Ignore me from last week. The deal with Fox still might happen.
Yeah.
Keep saying about still possibly in talks. And so they might get hold of X-Men and Deadpool and Christ almighty.
And
if they do that, like I said, if they do that, just make spin-off. Just don't connect your films. Just make single films. Make a Deadpool and Spider-Man film. Don't.
Yeah.
Like try to link them all. It's gonna be your fucking...
I've just kind of done that in my mind already. I'm just unlinking everything because it's like just treat it like comic books.
If they got that deal and not their planet, I bet not their planet is. I bet they're waiting for Infinity War, the second part of that, to finish, and then they're gonna make the X-Men come in because they guarantee the universe becomes a multiverse.
That'd be just absolutely ridiculous. That'd be so ridiculous.
The whole idea of multiverse will especially be ramped up now after Rick and Morty's popularity. The whole idea of multiverse will be completely.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. Next bit of news.
Yeah.
For Wonder Woman, and it's just more I've just seen the last day as well. So Wonder Woman, or Gal Gadot. Or Gadot, however you want to say it, because I've heard her say both of them.
Yeah, I've heard her say both.
She said she wasn't going to stay for Wonder Woman 2.
Yeah.
I think it was Brett Ratner, I said, didn't know. Yeah, Brett Ratner. Yeah, she said she wasn't going to come back for Wonder Woman 2 if he is involved, or if he gets any kind of financial cut from it. So if he gets any money from it, she wasn't going to do it because there's been accusations there's been so much, we won't get into it, but so many accusations recently of sexual harassment because of that, and he's had an accusation. She won't do it unless he goes. Was the first bit of news. Now I'm pretty sure he has gone, or is going, and so she's on for it, and they've said it for 2019. I can't remember what month.
Okay.
2019
is fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, I think that date's wrong.
I would not have been surprised if they tried to push it out for next year.
Yeah. The main bit of news, if I hope that is the right year, I think it was 2019. The main bit of news anyway was that she wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
She was striking it essentially, and now
That's
she's doing it.
Yeah.
Because he's going, but apparently he was leaving anyway, so I think she's giving him a bit more of a nudge. Interestingly. God,
there's so much.
Oh, I know, it's ridiculous.
So many, honestly. It's just,
It's all coming out now.
I mean, it's great. People feeling like they can.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable how much there is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Any
more? I've got one bit more news.
Go on.
It's not really news. So Deadpool 2.
What about
poster.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Yeah, we're getting a bit more stuff for Deadpool 2 now, aren't we? A few more releases. It all looks quite funny. The humour's good. I imagine it'll be quite similar to the first. I feel like the same with Guardians, the same with any sequels we watch. It's not going to be like oh, this is it doesn't feel like it's gonna be as exciting because you've seen it once. It'll probably be funny, but it's not gonna beat having it for the first time. Do you get what I mean?
My hopes
used
are
that.
just that they come up with some really good jokes again.
Yeah.
I just want to laugh. I just want it to be really funny. I want there to be some really good fight sequences, and you go, "Oh my god, that's actually really good for it being Deadpool." Not that they were bad the first time. I just mean, it's not like specialising in that kind of thing. I want that to happen, and I want it to be really, really funny.
Yeah.
Not like over the top, like tried too hard funny. Like
and
that
Josh Brolin to be good as Cable as well.
He will be.
Yeah.
He will be.
He's such a mixed bag of films, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's all good stuff, don't get me wrong. He doesn't tend to
He's
do
a
much
very
crap,
good actor.
One more bit of news.
Yeah.
Saying that. Denis Villeneuve, our favourite,
Yes. Our favourite.
has commented on doing a James Bond film. He has said, I'm very happy about that. He has said he's interested in directing one essentially. He's a bit interested in doing a Bond film. However, his main focus now, and he's making sure he stays on target to release June, because he's obviously doing a remake of June. I say a remake. It might be an adaptation of the book. It could be different, but yeah, he's doing June first, which is probably the most hands down popular science fiction novel.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing that, but then he said he's interested in Bond, which would be incredible if he gets
Interested what? Sorry.
in doing Bond.
Oh right, yeah. It sounded like you said Witcher.
No.
I just realised you said Witch.
Which
That would be so amazing. I'm annoyed about Bond because Bond's poo. But he will make it amazing. But I don't know if I need him to do that. I just carry on with what you were doing and just do that. I don't want him to. I'm scared. Blade Runner, fine. No one expected or thought they needed that sequel. Turned out we did need it.
I want to do his own films, to be honest.
Yeah, don't now get into Bond and then where does it end? Where does it end?
I don't think he'll ever do a bad thing, but I like it when he does his own scripts.
It's good, but I want him to do is that. Yeah,
films,
that's what I'm saying. Don't fall into the franchise.
Although Arrival was an adaptation as well, interestingly.
An adaptation?
Yeah, it's a book.
Oh right, yeah.
I think the book's called The Story of Your Life.
Story of Your Life. Oh, that's One Direction. Harry Styles, we've come full circle. That's the end. Done.
Saying that, we will actually end it there. That's all for this week. Next week, if you didn't like this week, don't worry, because next week's more exciting.
Yeah.
I'm joking. It's been a good topic.
Yeah.
A bit more serious. You can't really make many jokes in a.
No, I don't want to. Yeah, you'd be disrespectful. It's tricky.
And we are not. So.
No.
Next week, Justice League.
Yes.
It's out. Will we just trash it?
Probably.
Or are we going to say
Probably.
Probably.
We should rename ourselves Wide-Eyed Trashers, because I feel like that's what we mainly do.
Nah.
Trash! Unless it's Denis Villeneuve. Then we love it. Or if it's Blade Runner. And what did our hate mail man say we were again?
You shit fuck Blade Runner shit review
you
like
just
film.
love Blade Runner. You want to have sex with Blade Runner forever, something like that.
Definitely wasn't anything like that.
Yeah,
but
it was
right.
exactly like that.
Next week Justice League. We'll be talking about that in great detail, I imagine. Let's
go
watch all the others before we go into it.
All the other what?
Man of Steel, Suicide Squad.
Oh no.
That's the day's gone.
I saw. Yeah. I saw that they're going to do like a big reveal of its Rotten Tomatoes score at some point. I can't remember when they said, but they're going to be like da 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 da.
Oh, it's not loaded. It says 0.
I'm gonna laugh. Yeah.
It's still not loaded. Yeah. So it has loaded.
Yeah.
But it says 0. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it is.
But
shut it down.
But the Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah.
Why are they doing a big reveal of that?
I don't know.
Rotten Tomatoes scores great. Don't get me wrong, I look at them all the time and they're a great indicator.
Yeah.
But they're not everything, because like you said, the percent means nothing. All that means is how many good reviews to bad reviews it has gotten. So you could do like a really mediocre film that people won't dislike.
Yeah, but
What are you doing?
With bigger ones, I'm stretching. With bigger ones,
upside down.
With bigger ones, it's more of an indication because you have a lot more people reviewing it.
Well,
so it is more of an indication.
That's good logic, but still.
You're good logic.
Thank you. Justice League next week. We'll also release another episode of Are You Still Watching? Our little episodes about TV reviews. It's pretty spot on because Punisher is out on
I
Netflix
thought
on the
you were
same
saying.
day.
I thought you were saying pan au chocolat.
Pan au chocolat.
Should we get pan au chocolat to watch The Punisher?
Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh, pan au chocolat
Anyway.
and Punisher. Yes, it's happening. It's happening. Yeah.
Punisher's out that day as well. The
Yes.
Punisher on Netflix.
Amazing.
So looking forward to that.
And we're
I'm pretty
pumped.
sure I'm more looking forward to that than Justice League. So imagine we're talking about that.
Definitely.
We could also, if you're watching a Ghost West, we could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I love that film.
I could think of the
but,
best movie moments for DC films, DCEU films, but no, that's not because they're all terrible.
No,
Other
because
than Man of Steel, I
there'd
actually
be
quite
none.
like, but still.
ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was next week.
Yeah.
Big week.
big
Um,
week. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and the other things that we have.
Under
That's
what
it.
name?
Wide-eyed runners. Wide-eyed is one word. Capital W. Capital U. Capital U. Capital. Why can't I say it?
Capital W.
Oh my god.
Capital E
Capital U,
for
wobble.
wide-eyed, space, capital R runners.
Yeah.
There we go.
Wide. Capital W. I.
Or-
Capital E.
Find us on YouTube.
Mhm.
Well, you probably just don't. Find us on iTunes.
Yeah.
If you listen to us on YouTube. If you listen to us on YouTube. No, if you listen to us on iTunes.
Oh my god.
Listen to us on
Listen
YouTube.
on iTunes because then you can lock your phone
Find
and
us.
go about your merry
find
way.
All right.
We
Goodbye,
love
everybody.
you.
Bit much. Goodbye.
Sorry.